Welcome, Mark McCraw.
Hello.
Mark is going to be one of 32 authors at the Fall Book Festival that's taking place in October in Greer, South Carolina. Welcome, Mark. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
So, tell us about your books that you're going to be bringing with you.
All right. So I just put out a book called Anna's Amazing Alaskan Adventure. I don't know if you can see it.
Ooh, yes.
So that's the book that I put out. And then one of the ones that was in Oklahoma in the top 10 bestsellers during last year, March of 2024, called Nikolai Pikolai. And so those are the two of the books. I have other books. I have
Hmm.
10 other books, but those are the ones that I really like. I like them all, uh, but those are some favored ones. They're in my favorite list as well. So I have the ones that I wrote that I like more than the others, but I mean they're all good. Don't get me wrong. But it's when you find a book that you really like, and you're like, oh, I like that. It turned out really good.
Hmm.
Yeah. So.
So Anna's just that one you just published. When did that one
It came out this month.
this month? Wow, that's
Yeah,
a brand new one.
brand new one. Yes, it newly released. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm getting ready to start on book 13, which is going to be a second grade book. This one was a fourth and fifth grade early chapter book
Okay.
for those early readers that are just getting into chapters. So they're not long chapters. And
Hmm.
so I'll be doing like a second grade book next with a TikTok artist or author, or not author, illustrator rather. And
Hmm.
so I'll be doing that with the illustrator coming up soon.
So you've got chapter books. Are you primarily writing in the early to late elementary age bracket? Is that where your books are at?
No, actually, I just kind of switched it up. I actually try to do from kindergarten on up. I've had some pre-Ks that I've read to. Sometimes I've read to some 2-year-olds, like I did the other day. So that was quite an experience. But yeah, I kind of mix it up a little bit in the fall. If it works out, I'll be hopefully working with a publisher in Oklahoma. We have to wait and see. It's still on the possibility of doing another book, and it'll be a military book. So I've got several military dependent books that I've put
Hmm.
out. Did you come home for lunch? Living on a military base. I was just about, which is about moving, and then hopefully a fourth one will come out. Uh, that'll be a little bit different, but have a lot of good subjects in there.
So do you plan all of these? Do you have all of your books plotted out ahead of time, or do you just write as it comes to you?
A little bit of both. I write out. I do pre-writing. I've already pre-writing on about 3 or 4 other uh, potential books, and then I'm also working with another second grade author for a potential book about bullying. Hopefully, it'll be out next
Ooh.
year. So that's in the works. So that's some of what I do there. I do kind of plan out. I kind of have a goal of how many books I'd like to put out. It's not really about the quantity. It's just about the quality and really
Mhm.
trying to give myself grace that if I don't get it out, that's okay. And so you know, yeah. But like I said, I just enjoy writing. It's for me, it's a
Mhm.
passion. When I go to the VA, I'm a veteran. A lot of times I'll talk about my books, and my blood pressure always seems to go down.
Well, that's a good thing.
So they know that they know that I'm doing that, and I enjoy doing it. So and then last month I was in an international children's magazine, so I was really excited about that,
Ooh.
called Kid Leo Lio magazine. So I was excited about that. And Nikolai Pikolai was actually the one that I was interviewed about. So
I love that cover.
thank you. Yeah, it was actually done by Iris Davy Dinko. She's a Ukrainian illustrator, and
Okay.
she's the one that also did Anna's Amazing Alaskan Adventure, and so I was really excited about that. Uh, she just does a really good job.
That is so good. So are you working primarily with, like, a certain set of illustrators, or does that really vary from project to project?
It varies a little bit, but I mean, I have typically a couple that I kind of stick with,
Mhm.
and so I'm really excited about that part of it. I kind of bumped into someone on TikTok that was actually did a book called Babbling Betty. It was one of her first commissions that she got, and since then, I know she's had a lot more. And so I'm actually going to be working with her, and her name's Artful Alley on
Mm.
TikTok, and so I'm looking at hopefully getting the opportunity to work with her again on a book. So
So these are primarily in the children's range. Do you plan on sticking with children's books, or do you ever foresee yourself going into adult books?
no, I typically like the children's realm because
Okay.
when I go to schools and daycares,
Mhm.
I try to. That's why I try to mix up the book levels, so that when I go to different grade levels and stuff, I can switch up the book and that kind of thing. So it's very helpful
Mhm.
since I try to do theme related books. And it seems to work out a lot because it, teachers know up front what I'm going to talk about, principals know up
Mhm.
front what I'm going to talk about, and then we have an interactive session at the end, where we get questions and answers, and then we talk about whatever, whether it's bullying, whether it's problem solving, those kind of things. So.
So you've got you do a lot of visits to the various schools and the daycares. How did you get into writing at for these grade levels, and how do you get into the schools?
Okay, so a lot of this came about. My writing actually started being thought about when I was a teacher's aide,
Mhm.
but it was 15 years later when I started to actually write. And then I had all these stories. I was a former elementary school teacher. I did a lot with children ever since I was 13. I've worked with infants all the way to college students.
Mm.
I just had all these stories for my children, my grandchildren, my background, my stories, my mom and dad's stories, and I kind of threw those into a lot of different scenarios and books. And so I tried to use a lot of those stories because we all have stories,
Mhm.
and some of them are funny, and some of them might be more serious. But I try to weave those in throughout the books, throughout the different books that I have. So.
And you mentioned that you had some of the themes are military themes, and you were in the service.
Mhm.
Uh, are you taking from all of your experience from being in the military, or what? How are you drawing from that?
Yeah, so originally I started out with Did You Come Home for Lunch? And that book was a military dependent book. That's been my first love. I have obviously I was in the military with children, and I try to give back every year. The last couple of years, I've donated books to military dependents at the local base, and been part of the military celebration. And for me, it's so rewarding. For a child to be able to have a book that they don't have to pay for, and
Mhm.
and obviously I know we're in the market for selling and things like that, but that's the reason why I started. And that book actually went on to the San Diego Festival of Books.
Mhm.
In 2023, it was in Times Square with 200 other authors, and then it was in the Miami Book Fair in November of 2024. Now, as far as getting into the schools and daycares, it's really about relationships, relationships, relationships. Uh, it really is. It's getting to know people, going to events locally and other places where you can actually, give your business card out, talk to
Mhm.
them about it, and really it's through connections that I've been able to get into schools and daycares. And a lot of daycares really haven't had a lot of authors coming in, and so
Really?
yeah, so in our area, there's not a lot of authors, I mean, that I know of. I mean,
Mhm.
it doesn't appear that way anyway. And of course, it's just an avenue. I've been to special needs centers and things like that. So it's just different audiences. I've done like promos for businesses where we've done some joint events and things of that nature. So I think this year I'll be up to 50 events, I think, this year. So it's
Wow,
pretty busy.
that's a lot of events.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you're traveling from Oklahoma.
Yes.
and you're going to be here in South Carolina. What made you decide that you wanted to go to a South Carolina event?
Well, one, I have a lot of genealogy in that area. I'm already set up for another bookstore coming up a week after that
Oh,
In Spartanburg, so I'm really excited about that.
oh,
And
nice.
and so I'll be there for a week in Spartanburg and the Greer, of course. And so I also have doing some genealogy research. I have a
Hmm.
lot of my grandfathers, great grandfathers, and part of a U.S. McCraw family association
Hmm.
connections, and so we have a lot of different genealogy things that we're going to be doing during that week. That I'll be staying with a relative of mine that I never really knew
Hmm.
until I met at a conference and found out that the individual because I my mom and dad were divorced when I was 10.5 months old,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I met this person and I found out it has, with the exception of a couple numbers, has almost the exact same DNA that I have. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
so in order to do that, he has to be related. So,
Yeah.
uh, come to come to find come to find out, he was actually my grandfather's brother's son. So,
Okay. Let me try and follow.
grandfather's
There's
brother's
brother.
son. Yeah, so he's a cousin.
Yep. Shorten it up, cousin.
I just try to give you something to think about there for a moment. But it was and he's been doing a lot of genealogy for this society, and
Hmm.
I've met up with him several times. We went to West Virginia for a conference, and I think we're having another one in I think it's St. Charles, Missouri. I think is
Hmm.
the next one the next year. So we do it every couple of years. We move around the United States and the McCraws and McGraws and things like that. So we're actually related in some ways. My grandmother was a McGraw, so and then my
Uh,
grandfather was a McCraw.
oh,
So McGraws and
wow.
McCraws, McCrays.
That always makes it really fun doing the genealogy when they're only one letter off.
hmm Yeah. Well, we've had some predecessors that have come along that have actually been doing a lot of genealogy, and they have volumes and volumes of research that they've done, and we're hoping to add to that with a line from my great grandfather down to my youngest. We're
Hmm.
hoping to add to that. And that's part of the purpose of being there is trying to get all that information and putting it in a book. So.
Genealogy is so it's one of my favorite things to do. And I go
Hmm.
down that rabbit hole and it's like gone. Where did the time go? It is
Hmm.
so easy to do. And I know in-person genealogy is so much more fun doing, especially
Hmm.
if you've got someone there that can really help you and assist with some of that, especially with two last names so close together. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, and it makes it more complicated because I'm also a member of the McCrae's society, which has a castle in Scotland called Ely and Donnan Castle, which has been used in several movies, and
oh,
uh, and then also in the Irish side is McGrath, which is actually McGrath, which is actually in Gaelic, which is McGraw. So you can see the
oh
problem
my
that we have.
goodness, you're yeah. I can picture the family tree, and it's just like crazy.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So I mean, we've got the Irish side and the Scottish side and the English side, so all of that. But it's fun. I enjoy it. Uh, I just I try to do something that's very positive. Something that
Hmm.
I can learn a lot from and keep my mind active and things of that nature. And it's exciting to do. So and that's why I love writing so much because it's that creative process, and I have all these stories that just kind of jumble out. The first year that I've made my first book, I had a publisher tell me they couldn't believe that by the end of the year I'd already put out 6 books, and
Mm,
so
that's quite a few in one year.
yeah, it was a lot. And then of course this year I'm a little bit behind on what I want to do, but my goals, but that's okay. I'm good with it.
So, is your family tree gonna make it into any of your children's books?
Well, I'm actually in one of the books, so I'm
Oh.
probably not. Yeah, the very first book that I wrote, I'm actually in it. I don't tell the children. I kind of wait to see if they figure it out, you know, because I said somebody in this room is in this book, and they're all looking around. I'm like, do you know anybody in this room that might be in this book? You know, that kind of thing, because it's actually a picture of me in the book. So,
Oh, wow.
from the military. So it's
Oh,
just,
okay.
yeah. So it's, and that's why the "Did you come home for lunch?" I said, "Did you come home for lunch?" And I'd been gone for 14 days. So, at 3 years old, they just don't understand time. So
Yeah.
I try to use a lot of different dialogues. So anyway, it's just fun, really enjoyable time.
Here we go. Okay. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I think I lost you there for a moment. It started saying sinking.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So I lost you for a moment. The thing showed up sinking, and then it was all gone. You disappeared.
Oh, no.
I love technology sometimes.
Oh, technology, it's so much fun. It really is. Mm, but well, I am looking forward to having you in person because I've met you a few times for the virtual festivals
Hmm.
that have been online. So this will be the first time I've met you in person.
Oh, it's
And Diana's going to be there too.
yes. I am so excited. I really am. Yeah. It's like I always love the virtual festivals too. They're so much fun, and I have a lot of friends that try to get to come and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. That's why I'm so excited to be going there. And I had plans originally to be in Florida in March, but I got sick, and so I was supposed to be at a book festival, and I was excited that the book festival organizer actually bought Nikolai Piccoli and read it down there 2 days before the
Ah,
event. They ordered it, and so they had an intern actually read the book. So I was excited about that. I felt bad about it, but your health comes first, and I
oh,
was,
most definitely.
so I had to cancel out a lot of events for a couple of months. So I'm a little bit behind on things that I want to do, but health is important. So
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you and thank you so much for joining us for this. And I will see you in October.
all right, looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, thank you.